Hello to my District 148 students. It's Mrs. Nelson. I have one more Three Little Pigs story for you. This one is another story that's told from the wolf's point of view. He's trying to explain what really happened. Now the thing is, do we trust the wolf? Is he telling us the truth, or is he just trying to trick us again? So let's go ahead and check out our last Little Pigs book. This is the true story of the Three Little Pigs by a wolf. This story is a fiction story. It is told by Jon Scieszka. He wrote all the words, and it's illustrated by Lane Smith. Lane Smith drew and colored in all of the pictures for the book. So the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Everyone knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm a wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knock on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, Little Pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake, and that's when my nose started to itch, and I felt a sneeze coming on, and I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seems like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner laying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have a cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was not smart. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffled, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe this, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. Well, the dust cleared, and there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food'll spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Oh, talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake, when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually pretty calm, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. And the rest is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner, and they figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all this huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that is the end of our book, The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf.